Each of the questions below consists of a question and two statements numbered 1 and 2 given below. You have to decide whether data provided in the statements are sufficient to answer the question. Read both the statements and give an answer. Options: data in 1 alone are sufficient, 2 alone is not sufficient. Data in 2 alone is sufficient, 1 alone not sufficient. Data in either 1 or 2 alone are sufficient. Data in both 1 and 2 together are not sufficient. Data in both 1 and 2 together. This is how you should read in the exam also. You should definitely read. Don't try to skip the directions because these are anyway general directions. No, so let me not read. Don't try to save time like this. You have to go through the directions because sometimes what happens. They say find out which of the conclusions are not required, which of the statements are not required, and we end up marking all the wrong answers. So that's why read the directions, read it quickly, and don't read it loudly because when you speak out, it takes more time. Read it in your mind. Anyway, here's the question. Among A, B, C, D, and E and F, who is the shortest? So there are 6 persons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who is the shortest is what we have to find out. B is taller than C and D but shorter than A. E is taller than A but not the tallest. So look at statement 1. B, let me name all the persons. A, B, C, D, E, F. 6 persons, right? He said we have to find out who is the shortest. Who is the shortest? B is taller than C and D but shorter than A. See, remember, if you go back to your topic of ranking, videos of ranking, this is model number 6 in ranking. I had mentioned that whenever we have to find out tallest, shortest, heaviest, lightest, youngest, eldest, biggest, smallest, and all that, extreme positions, you don't have to do the full arrangement. You don't have to do full arrangement. You can answer the question in a shortcut way. What is that shortcut? He is asking you to find out the shortest person, right? Find out who is not the shortest. Like for example, B is taller. B is taller than C. So can B be the shortest? No. So B is eliminated. B is taller than C and D. Is C and D the shortest? We can't say. But B is definitely not the shortest because B is taller. So B cannot be shortest. But shorter than A. B is shorter than A. B is shorter than A. If B is shorter than A, means A is taller than B. If A is taller than B, can A be the shortest? No. E is taller than A. See, E is taller. Can E be tallest? Can E be shortest? You're able to follow. E is taller. E is taller. If E is taller, E cannot be shortest. Eliminated. But not the tallest. E is not the tallest. Fine. But who is the shortest? It can be C or it can be D or it can be F. All three are possible. From this data, statement 1, I cannot find out who is the shortest person. I can only say B is not the shortest because B is taller. A is not the shortest because A is taller than B. B is shorter than A means A is taller than B. And E is taller than A. So E is also not the shortest. But C can be shortest or D can be shortest or F can be shortest. Right? We can't decide. So statement 1 alone is not sufficient. 1 alone is not sufficient. 1 alone is not sufficient. Look at statement 2. Again, A, B, C, D, E, F. Look at statement 2. F is taller than E and B. F is taller than E and B means what? F cannot be shortest. C is taller than D, meaning C cannot be shortest. But between A, B, C, D, among A, B, D, E, anyone can be shortest. All I can say from the data given in statement 2 is that F cannot be shortest. Why can't F be shortest? Because F is taller. Taller means what? He cannot be shortest. Similarly, C is taller than D, so C cannot be shortest because C is taller. A, B, D, E, anyone can be shortest. So 2 alone is also not sufficient. 1 alone is not sufficient, 2 alone is not sufficient. 1 alone is not sufficient, 2 alone is not sufficient. Means what? Go for combination. Remember, you have to go for the combination of the statements if and only if. If and only if. Individually the statements fail to give the answer. Now if I combine all the statements, both the statements together, A, B, C, D, E, F. If I combine both the statements together, what happens? From statement 1, I know that A, B, E are not tallest, not shortest. From statement 1, I know that A, B and E cannot be shortest. From statement 2, we know that C and F cannot be shortest. Who is left out? Only D is left out. So D has to be the shortest, right? A, B, C, E, F cannot be shortest. So D has to be the shortest. How are we able to establish this? By combining both the statements together, which means this question can be answered if and only if the data in both the statement 1 and 2 together are used. So option 5 has to be the answer to this question. Option 5 is the answer. Here what do we have to do? J, K, L, M, N are sitting in a straight line facing north. Who sits in the middle of the row? Alright, option 3 is what Many of you have got. Let's try it now. So the same data, we have to find out which of these two statements are sufficient to answer this question. Look at the question. J, K, L, M and N are sitting in a straight line facing north. Who sits in the middle of the row? So 5 persons in a straight line facing north. Facing north means what? Left is left, right is right. Who sits in the middle of the row? Let me use statement number 1. N sits second to the left of K. N sits second to the left of K. So K is here, second to the left of K. First and second. N sits second to the left of K. And to the immediate right of M. Remember, and refers to the first person. So N sits second to the left of K and to the immediate right of M. N is on the immediate right of M. N is on the immediate right of M, meaning M is here. See, immediate right of M is N, and second to the left of K is N. K sits on the immediate left of L. K sits on the immediate left of L. If K sits on the immediate left of L, means L sits on the immediate right of K. Immediate right of K is this. See, K sits on the immediate left of L. There are 5 persons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have already got the 5 positions. Who's in the middle? Of course, J is in the middle. M, N, K, L. So J is in the middle. Are we able to find it out? Yes. How? Using statement 1. So statement 1 alone is sufficient. But that does not mean option 1 is the answer. Don't be in a hurry and mark option 1 as the answer. Remember, in data sufficiency, you should mark the answer only after you have read both the statements. Never mark the answer without reading all the statements. So 1 alone gives me the answer. But does 2 alone give the answer or not? We have to verify. So now let's try case 2 or statement 2. J sits second to the right of L. Who sits on the extreme left end of the row? J sits second to the right of L. Who refers to preceding person? L. L sits on the extreme left end of the row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions. L is on the extreme left. L is here. J sits second to the right of L. First and second. J sits second to the right. Here ends the solution. I don't have to even read the last part of the statement. Why? The question says who sits in the middle of the row. I have already found who sits in the middle of the row. I am not worried about the remaining 3 positions. I don't care. I wanted who sits in the middle of the row. I have got it from the first part of the second statement, which means second statement also is capable enough of giving the answer, which means either 1 or 2 alone can give me the answer, which means option 3 is the final answer, which means never mark your answer without reading both the statements. Those who all had marked option 1 did not read the second statement in all likeliness, which is wrong. Read all the statements before you conclude when it comes to data sufficiency. Let's take one last question. Last question from data sufficiency. After that I'll go because I'm very hungry. Here's the question. So let's take the last one now. Here's the question. How is K related to D? Blood relations. How is K related to D? Statement 1. A is married to C, who is the father of D. How will this be sufficient? Somebody tell me. There is no mention of K at all. A is married to C, who is the father of D. Okay, A and C are married, husband and wife or wife and husband. Their child is D. Basically, C is the father. Who is the father meaning? C is the father, right? Preceding person. So A is the wife, C is the husband, their child is D. How is K in the picture here? So 1 alone is not sufficient at all. Don't even try to do this. Anybody who has done this, A is married to C, so double-headed arrow, A and C are married, C is the father of D, so husband, wife and D. This is waste of your precious time. Because just by looking at the statement 1, I can say it will not be sufficient. There is no mention of K. How will I decide how is K related to D? Let's try statement 2 now. Of course, this part may be useful if you have to combine both the statements. But that we will figure out only after checking statement 2. So don't waste your time in doing all this unless it is really required. Statement 2. D is the brother of G and A is the child of H who is married to K. Now in this we have got D and K both. So there is a possibility that we will be able to connect D with K. What does it say? D is the brother of G. D is the brother of G. D is the brother of G. And A is the child of H who is married to K. Okay, D is the brother of G. And A is the child of H who is married to K. H is married to K. H is married to K. H is married to K. Who is married to K means what? H is married to K. H is married to K. Okay, H is married to K and A is the child of H. H is married to K. A is the child of H. So A is a child of H, established. H is married to K is also established. But then how do we connect this leg with this leg? Not possible. So I think even 2 will not give us the answer. And see, understand how is K related to D? For that to be answered, we should know the gender of K definitely. Are you able to follow? Even if you try to look at it, for us to answer how is K related to D, we should definitely know the gender of K. We need not know the gender of D. We need not know the gender of D, but we should definitely know the gender of K. From statement 2, which is the only statement which is talking about K. Statement 1 is not even talking about K, forget about it. It's a useless statement. Statement 2 is talking about K, but then all we know is H is married to K. H is married to K means what? Who's the husband, who's the wife? No idea. H can be the husband, K can be wife, or H can be the wife whose husband is K. Who is married to K, but is, see, no, nothing is right. A is the child of H. A is the child of H means what? H can be the father or the mother. So K's gender cannot be established from statement 2. The fact that K's gender cannot be established tells me that second statement also is not sufficient. Don't worry about connecting these things now. You can do the combination, you can combine. See, we know the logic. We know that you should go for combination of statements if and only if individual statements have failed to give the answer. Statement 1 failed to give the answer, statement 2 also failed to give the answer, so I can go for combination. But even before going for combination, simple idea is, smart logic here is, I cannot find out the gender of K. Whatever I do, I will not be able to find out the gender of K. What will I do? I will connect D with G. Then what happens? We will connect D with G. After that, K is the child of H, who is married to K. So maybe A is the child of H, right? This can be connected further. But K gender is not there. Unless K gender is there, I cannot do anything. So don't even try to combine these things. Why should I combine? Even if I combine, what will I get? I will not get the answer, final answer. Which means even if both the statements together are combined, you will not have enough data to answer the question. So if the data in both 1 and 2 together are not sufficient to answer the question, then option 4 has to be the answer, which is the case here. So option 4 is the answer to this question.